1, 2, 3, listen.
Welcome to Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal. Joining me today are the happy pair. Welcome to Real Deal. And I am back for Real Talk. I've got Jordan here that just joined us in the studio. We just met a couple minutes ago. And look, Jordan, let's just get right into it, man. I know you're here, and I want to see if I can help you with a problem you're having. And I've got this whole resist and transform framework that I try to walk people through. But what I want to know right away is, what do you think, or what do you hear for me to help you with? What's going on in your life right now? What's the main thing that's stopping you?
Well, it's psychological, for sure. There's many kind of different elements of it, but to summarize, I actually did the Dan Pena snowflake test. Turns out I am a snowflake, right?
Okay.
I also did Jordan Peterson's understandmyself.com personality test.
Okay.
And it turns out that I'm really, really low in industriousness.
Okay.
And so,
enough about that. But what's something that's stopping you right now? What is the biggest problem in your life, or the biggest challenge? So, the tests are great, but like, if you had to tell me that one thing,
it's
what is it?
Discipline and focus, and getting myself to do the right thing. I don't want to, I don't want to embarrass myself, but I'm a fucking loser, mate. Honestly, big time.
Okay. You smile when you say that.
I know, because it's honestly got to the point where it's actually a joke. Okay. I can tell you something funny. No, they're not even funny. And in fact, I was watching some things yesterday of you and the bloke from the Sheppey Island. I found that he was laughing too much as well, and that's my in my opinion.
So
that's my issue too. I laugh too much.
Okay, let's go deeper on this. You say you're a loser, which is a pretty strong statement to make.
Yep.
Why? What is the evidence to you that you're a loser?
So basically, I lose the battle in my mind. You once called it the brain game, and actually I've got a t-shirt on with my logo, BG, brain game. I named my little company after something that you said. You mentioned it about being bored when working out, but I include discipline and perseverance and focus in the brain game as well. Okay. And so I'll tell myself, so for example, I've been wanting to do a fast, like an extended fast, and I tell myself I'll start the next day, right? And I've been doing that for literally 3 years. Okay. That's how bad it is.
All right, so you have these big plans for you and your future.
Correct.
You want to stay fast. You want to be what, a fighter as well?
Yes, I've been doing, actually, I didn't mention it on the form, but I've done a lot of training at London Shoot Fighters, and I've actually met MVP as well and stuff, and so I know the guys there. I've done a lot of boxing training in my hometown. Okay.
Can you do a session at London Shoot Fighters? Because those guys don't play around.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So then hold on a second. So if you can last an hour at the London Shoot Fighter, then you are something, because those guys don't play around. So there is evidence of you doing some things competent. So are you just hard on yourself?
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so for example, it's whatever time it is now. Sometimes I might even be in bed right now. Actually, that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
But let's just take a step back. What do you want in your life? Like, what do you think you want? Like, what is your dream?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, again, Jordan Peterson is one of my favorite guys.
But I don't care about Jordan Peterson. I want to hear about you. Well, what's your dream? Well, what's Jordan's dream? That's what I need.
It's the highest good that I can picture, or the highest good.
You want to be proud of yourself?
Yes. To put it bluntly, I've got an ambition to be the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, which I might that might
Where
sound.
Where did that come from? Why is that important to you?
So basically, in school, I got really bullied, and I got bullied quite badly bullied, and it really
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure, dude. It was in secondary school, so whatever age that would be, year 7 and upwards, and I was basically like a rocker, or like they're called emos. I had hair that goes across there and stuff, and I used to get bullied by the chavs, who are like sporty type people, and really badly bullied, and even out of school as well. I'd be in the skate park, and the chavs would come along, and we would be, all my little friend group would be absolutely helpless to whatever they wanted to do if they wanted to like push
And
us.
what
Or
would they do?
they would take our skateboards and then like, say, oh, can we have a little go? And then they'd like ram it into a ramp and kind of smash the front or whatever. There was one time when this dude called...
So what did this do to you? How did it make you feel?
it made me feel helpless.
Okay.
And vulnerable, and that's why I decided to start boxing at the age of 16. And also...
a lot of boxers do it because they were bullied.
Yeah, man, for sure.
A lot of boxers are scared. A lot of fighters are scared, and they were bullied.
Absolutely, yeah.
George St. Pierre from the UFC was classically bullied as a kid, and he became one of the greatest fighters ever.
Yeah, I've heard
but
that
it's
story.
because he got his head around why that happened and what happened, and he channeled his energy. Like, great fighters don't fight out of anger. They fight because they've understood themselves. So we need to figure out a way for you to understand what's stopping you. Because this is the thing. You're telling me, like, I can't fast and I can't this. These are symptoms of a problem, of you not believing in yourself. And so until we understand that, you can have all the goals in the world and they're never going to happen.
Yeah.
What else was it? Were your parents encouraging?
Well, actually, I was going to mention, like, I don't know if my father's going to watch this, but he would discipline me by sometimes punching me in the face, this is quite deeply traumatic.
Okay.
I'm not going to cry though, don't worry.
Was that a horrible thing? I mean,
Well,
that sounds like a big deal.
Dude, for example, one time, he punched me in the face. I was proper young, and he punched me right in the face, and I had blood coming down, and I ran out of the house. I ran across the road, and I spat blood onto his car to say, fuck you. And I said to myself, I'm going to get amazing. I'm actually getting a bit worked up now because I'm getting taken back. Anyway,
you get angry when you think about this memory?
Yeah, dude. I get
You're
like
10 years old.
Yeah.
You got punched in the face by your dad. You're
Like
bleeding.
this happened. There's many other occasions of that as well,
so you
but
spit the
that was
blood on
one
his car.
particular. Yeah, exactly.
How did you feel in that moment?
Well, it was that was the last time that it ever happened. That was the worst time and the last time it ever happened, because I said to myself, I'm going to get really good at boxing, and if anyone ever messes with me, I'm going to sort them out big time.
Okay.
And that is what they call the porcupine effect, because if it's got spikes, they leave it alone. And so after I started training...
Let me just go back to this. Why did your dad punch you?
Because, so for example, he would have an opinion of something, or he would tell me to do something, and basically I stand up for myself quite a lot, and he didn't like that. He was, he wouldn't let people stand up to him.
Okay.
I forget what that particular thing was
Do you
about.
have a relationship with your dad now, or no?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You do. Okay.
I've matured, so it's kind of water under the bridge.
Then this is a good background. What do you think it is that's holding you back? Like, if you had to really dig down deep, why aren't you able to do these things? Because you seem like a smart guy. If you train with shoot fighters, you're doing some of the right things. But it sounds like you keep ending in failure.
Well, I've not been...
Are you sabotaging yourself?
Yes, I am, absolutely right.
So you just fuck it up, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that's happening, Jordan? Honestly, if you really think about it, what is it? Is it because your parents didn't believe in you? You don't think you deserve it?
Well, I can answer it, and it's I don't listen to my own internal voice. And sorry to go off a little bit, but I was listening to The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and basically he gave these people some orders, and they just started laughing and didn't follow it. And so he had some people's heads cut off.
That's the way it is for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You laugh at your own orders.
But then he had the heads cut off.
Okay.
And they listened.
First of all,
that's what I need almost.
You're consuming way too much content. All right. You're taking snowflake tests, and you're taking Jordan Peters tests. You're all this stuff. It's not going to help you at this point, because what's happening with you it's this internal blockage. So you are not listening to yourself. I guess you don't respect yourself. Because you're not, why would you respect yourself? You're not proving yourself that you can stick to anything, any type of routine. And it ultimately comes down to something. Maybe do you have a fear of failing at some of this? Or a fear of succeeding?
It's none of these things. I've just got a gross lack of discipline. And it's weird because...
Okay, but let me ask you another question. What happens if this is you the rest of your life? Well, let's fast forward to 70 years old, and you're just some fuck up, and you work at a chip shop, and your life has been nothing.
It won't be.
Are you going to have kids? Let me ask you that. Are you going to have children?
Yeah, I'd like to have two.
So say your kids look at you, have a beautiful daughter and a beautiful son, and when they're 6 years old, they look up and they say, "Dad, you're a loser."
That's not going to happen.
Well, is it going to happen? Because right now, on the way you're going, it is going to happen. So, but just think about that. These are kids you haven't had yet. But I'm trying to find something that's going to make you realize that something has to change. But can you think of these kids right now? Can you see them? Would you want those kids to feel that way about you?
Well, I've actually got a more powerful negative future, which is it's losing. There's basically, this is going to sound funny, there's this girl that I really fancy,
Okay.
and I have nightmares about her, about basically not winning her respect and her admiration. That's a way more motivating negative future for
Okay.
me. It's fucking terrifying.
So she's real.
Yeah, she's an actual person.
Does
Yeah.
she know you?
Yeah, I've known her. This might give it away if people are watching, but I've known her since like youth club.
Okay.
And
But if it
it's-
was that powerful, you would have changed your game. So
This is my issue. I
Okay.
don't know why it isn't working.
all right, well then we need to find something else, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need to find something that is so important to you that will change your behavior. And you need to really go deep and think like, what is important enough for me when you wake up tomorrow to do that fast? This is what you need to, you honestly need to prove to yourself that you can do something with discipline. So you've been talking about this 3-year thing. So part of my 6-step system, the first one is getting real, which means you have to acknowledge where you're at and you've got to resist the behavior. This is exactly for you.
Yeah.
So it's acknowledging where you're at and resisting the behavior. The second step is now visualizing your future and who you want to be. But for you right now, you have to find something that's so emotional that'll get you to change the things. Now, she might be a part of it, but it hasn't been enough.
No.
So, I mean, look, you want kids. I would literally picture these 6 and 7-year-old kids looking at dad, who is a joke, and them not taking you seriously. How did you feel about your dad? Do you respect him? Okay, maybe you don't.
In some ways, I respect
Okay,
that
but
he's
it's-
quite punctual.
Okay,
but that's
in
about
some
where it
ways,
ends.
okay, but in some ways you don't.
No.
And that, how does it feel not to respect him in those ways? It's not a nice thing. Right?
To be honest with you, I've seen worse people. So
Okay.
I mean,
But do you want your kids to look at you in a way that's like disrespectful? I mean, nobody does. I mean, if your kids look to you and think, oh my God, dad's a loser. He can't do anything he says he is. He's always talking all this bullshit about being a UFC fighter. And yet I see him on the sofa eating donuts. He can't stop even the most basic urges. And he thinks it's funny. So you just become this big living joke.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you're in your 20s or whatever it is now where there's no consequences. But in 10 years, there will be consequences because you'll have missed all your job opportunities. You'll have 2 kids now and a lot more pressure, and you'll still be that guy.
Yep.
So, like, I think we need to visualize something that's going to be important to you. Are those kids important to you? Does it matter what they think of you?
That is quite important, but it's not my most important thing.
So what is?
It's, as I say, my brain game idea. That's really deeply important.
But what's
to me.
emotionally important to you? Like, what do you care about? Because if we can't find that, we can't get you to change your emotions.
Actually, well, one of the main things is the earned respect of my peers, as Charlie Munger put it.
Okay.
Because
Who are
you
your
know,
peers?
Really, the
But
people.
do they see you now? I mean, has that changed your behavior?
I basically hide. No, I wouldn't call
Okay.
it hiding, but
All right.
that's what I mean by
So
being a bit of a
this is
loser.
what we need to do. We need to get you to stop hiding so everyone can see what you're doing.
That's why I've done it
positive
today.
and negative. Okay, so that means this girl, that means your peer group, and that means your future kids, which are going to be watching this. So from now on, and this is part of my steps as well, being held accountable, because that's the only way we're going to get there. So again, we got to get real. We need to acknowledge where you're at here, and we need to start resisting what you're doing. Okay, then we got to visualize where you want to be in the future. You got to be held accountable, and you got to pay a price to action. That means today you have to decide and tell everyone on air that you are going to be doing a course of action. And if not, everyone should come over and punch you in the face and call you a loser, and you're not going to even punch them back.
Yep.
Like, you need to agree to that, because we need to do something here. And again, you keep laughing every time you think about your shortcomings, and that's not good.
No, you're absolutely right.
Because but the truth is that this is your life. For all I know, you only have one life. And so now is the time, man. And it kills me to see you like this. It kind of makes me mad, because you seem like a guy, you've gotten to shoot fighters. I know those guys. These guys could mold you into someone you're super proud of. Like, I know MVP. I know the guys over there. I trained with them. I broke my arm at the shoot fighters. All
I heard
right,
the
I
story,
know
yeah.
those guys. So they'll do things with you, but you have to show up. If you behaved this way at shoot fighters, I wouldn't spend any time.
I've not even been there for like over 2 years, which
Okay.
is part of my issue.
Well, all right. Well, okay. So, all right. So this has to stop right now. And you're going to have to, the only way I can see you getting over the line is to be held accountable to everybody. So you need to start posting everything you're going to do on your social and tell people what you're going to do. And then you show them. And if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And this is the thing I need you to do right now. I need you to pay the price to action and show me and show everybody that it stops now. you know? And again, every time you think about quitting, I need you to get really angry about who you're going to be, you know? I mean, like, doesn't this bother you?
Oh, it does.
Does it? It doesn't feel like it does.
No, I mean, I'm not laughing or smiling now because of you know, these things. I'm actually quite happy, and because I need a kick up the arse, and that's what I'm getting right now in front of everyone.
It is, but like, and ultimately only you can do that, you know? So ultimately you have to find a higher purpose, because I can't watch you all the time. We can't watch you all the time. You have to just say, you literally have to visualize your future. I mean, literally, can you see 65-year-old Jordan right now at the way you're going? Where are you going to be? What are you going to do? At this rate, like nothing.
Well,
but I mean, at this rate, it is nothing. Is that okay with you?
I couldn't keep doing what I'm doing for the rest of my life. I'm going to have to sort something out.
Okay, but at this point you are, and I think you think you're going to fix it, which is why this is not urgent for you.
Well, actually, I have. That's the funny thing. Even the sorry state that I'm in now, I used to be in such a
I don't care
worse
though.
state.
I don't care.
But I'm gradually. What I'm trying to say is, I'm gradually.
Are you?
Getting? Honestly, I'm gradually getting out there.
So show us, all right? Because I don't believe you.
Okay.
Because I'm talking. You know, it's like when you're talking to an alcoholic. You don't believe them because they don't have a track record of showing you that stuff.
Sure.
So what you need to do now is pay a price to action. You talked about fasting, so this is what I'm saying to you. I want a 36-hour water fast that starts tomorrow. Okay,
Deal.
Which means you go to bed tonight, you wake up tomorrow, and you consume nothing but water for the whole day, and then you go to bed and you wake up the next day. Okay, that's a 36-hour water fast. It's a challenge. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. Okay,
I'll do it.
All right, you're gonna have to do it, and I need you to tell this girl you're gonna do it. Will you do that?
I'm not going to tell her.
What do you mean you're not going to tell her? Then this is bullshit and you're wasting my time.
You think so?
Yeah, you're wasting all of our time because you're not going to do it. So you got to tell her you're going to do it. You got to tell your peer group you're going to do it. Hey, guess what? I was on London Real and I'm doing this water fast. I'm going to let you know how it goes. You have to, and I'm going to send pictures of me doing it, and this is what's happening.
I'll do the fast for sure. And it's because you've told me. Because I actually really respect you. I don't respect myself. You know, if I say to myself, "Oh, let's do a little fast," I just won't sometimes, but I do respect you, seriously, and I'm going to do that now, that little 36-hour fast,
Okay.
And probably more.
But I need and this is what we need in my process, is I need a pay price to action. So I need something that you're going to do that costs you something to do it. You know, it's a commitment. It's maybe spending money or burning a bridge or doing something where you're not going to quit on, you know? And so the water fast is just the start.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have to do something that you can't walk away from. You know, and I don't know if that means going back to London Shoot Fight and speaking to Paul over there and saying, look, I'm going to come here for the next 3 months, you know, twice a week and train with you, and then you're going to have to tell everybody you're going to do that. That's a pay price to action for us to know that you're serious. And you have to tell this girl as well. Like, you have to say, look, I'm doing this thing for 3 months. Now, look, your face already goes crazy because you know.
Is it going red?
Well, it goes funny because you're like, no, Brian, I don't want to do that. But this is bullshit. You have to do this, dude. And it seems like I've just talked to you about your future kids, your future self, and you don't give a shit. So it's this girl is the only thing that seems like is any motivation to you. So use this because, you know, if it takes her looking down on you to get you to step up, like, you need to use whatever it takes. Yeah. I'm accountable every week to all these people here. When I started London Real 8 years ago, I promised an episode every Sunday. This was really hard for me to do. Trust me, it made me super uncomfortable. I wanted to quit. I wanted to procrastinate. But I felt obligated to these people out there that I had never met. And so it kept me on track, and it made me become a better person. I suffered from a lot of problems in the past. I still have some, okay?
Right, okay.
But I had bad addictive behaviors, bad mentalities, but having that simple goal kept me on track, and I paid my price to action by saying, I'm gonna do this. It was a massive commitment. I didn't know it was gonna be 8.5 years later.
So how do you break a cycle? That's what I kind of want to know. How did you break your cycles?
Well, first of all, I did what I'm telling you right now. So again, acknowledge and resist. So you need to acknowledge who you are, and it's just not working out. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you will get better by 65 at this rate. And until you really believe it, you're not going to really feel this. But you need to visualize Jordan at 65, and you need to see the biggest loser possible. You need to see someone you don't respect, you don't trust, who's let down his family, his body, his people, everything. I need you to wake up every morning and visualize that guy, and that will wipe that smile off your face.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, fuck, this is serious. This isn't a joke. It's a joke, man. Oh, I'm going to fix it later. This isn't a joke anymore. So you want to be that guy. You want more? Great. Let's talk about this woman. How does she think about you now? How will she think about you when you have your first MMA fight and you walk into that ring and you decide to show us such a badass you are, because right now you're just talking about it, right? And nobody likes a talker.
Yep.
So what about you walking in the ring for your first fight? I mean, would that be an accomplishment?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It would be massive for you, because that means that you would have to show up and do so many things that you can't do. So I would love a commitment like that. Like, I'm going to have my first amateur fight in the next 6 months. Now you're smiling now because you won't make that commitment.
No, I'm
right?
smiling now because I might actually have to do that.
But you do have to do that. And again, this is the pay price to action. So once you do that, if you show up in that ring in 6 months, you will have conquered so many of your demons, because you have to eat right. You have to train. You have to do all this stuff in order to get that goal, and that's what I need, a pay price to action. So will you commit right now to do an amateur fight in the next 6 months? Why not? I just did one at Dan Peña's Castle 4 weeks ago, and I'm 48 years old, so you have no excuse.
The only issue with...
is what?
Well, I could do it.
Is what?
I would have to probably do it not under the London Shooting Fighters banner.
So what?
They wouldn't let me fight
That's
with
an
them.
excuse, though. But like you see, you're searching for excuses
No, but
here.
I would still do it. I'm
Okay, great.
committed
so
to do it.
don't just do it, but do it. So do you promise right now to me and everyone here you're going to have an amateur fight by August?
Well, I didn't come here for nothing, so yeah, fuck it. I promise you, Brian.
What's this woman's name?
Ah,
Tell me. What's her name? What's her first name?
Tiffany.
All right, Tiffany.
Isn't that a fit name? That's
It is.
a
It's
good
gorgeous
name, isn't it?
All right. And
If
look,
she's watching this now, you've proper...
is she, okay, look, and
I've been
again,
rumbled.
look, and again, I'm not saying you do everything for Tiffany, but if it takes Tiffany to do it, then do it. Sometimes I do things for my kids I don't want to do. Sometimes I do things for London Reelers like you I've never met before. Now, I've had times where I got to do things I don't want to do.
For sure.
Seriously, I've had interviews I got to go in where the person is being difficult. I'm feeling horrible that day. I want to quit, but I can't quit because I feel responsible to other people. Use Tiffany if you have to. Use us at London Real. But now you've just done the pay price to action. I want an amateur fight in 6 months. You should be able to do one in 6 weeks. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to now. I'm not even joking, and I'm sorry to keep smiling, but this is exactly what I needed. I needed the Dan Peña treatment almost, or the kick up the arse.
It's kick up the ass, but it has to also come with you doing these processes.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
that's what this Resist and Transform is all about. Look, I think we should accelerate this. I think we need a fight in 6 weeks. Is there any reason you can't do an amateur fight in 6 weeks?
I mean,
3 rounds of boxing?
no, dude, I'm fit enough to go, and I'm not scared either. But the only issue is I'd have to find a sort of amateur promotion, because London Shooting Fighters wouldn't let me fight with them.
It's called Google.
Oh, I'll do
All
it.
right, I want 6 weeks. Do you promise?
I promise, Brian.
Okay, tell
What am I getting
tell
myself in
Tiffany
for?
she can come see you ringside in 6 weeks.
Well, she's not watching this, but Tiffany, if you want to come and watch me ringside, you can,
All right.
and we'll have a little chat.
Okay, look, so that's the pay price
I've
to
not spoken
action,
for ages.
okay? There's a couple other things I need you to do, all right? One of them is purge, all right? And that's a big part of my program. It's step number 3. And that means you've got to get rid of all of the negative thoughts, the negative people, the negative routines in your life. What are those for you?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I'm pretty honest. So, for example, eating is a real bad one. My parents went away yesterday, so I've got a free house. I had 3 cans of rice pudding. I shouldn't laugh, sorry, because it's bad. I had 3 cans of rice pudding and loads of other stuff. It's proper binge eating, really, really bad.
Okay, this isn't good, man.
This is depravity.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to be honest as well, and it's kind of embarrassing to people here as well, but like, I not always watch pornography, yeah, but sometimes I proper watch loads.
Okay.
Not all the time, yeah, but like sometimes I'll find myself in depravity. That's the word.
Okay. All right,
Depravity.
let me talk about both these habits really quickly, and then I want to wrap this up. First of all, both of these behaviors are because you don't want to be present in your current life.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I hope people understand that. Like, the only reason people do these things is because you're not happy being you. Because when you think about you and you look in the mirror, you don't like this guy, you don't respect this guy. So why would you want to be there? Of course you would want to eat or watch some porn or whatever because you can escape,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So do you understand that that's why you do that?
For sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we got to purge this behavior. So when you get home, you got to purge all of this bad food out of the house. I want it in the bin. I want it in the bin. That's it. And from now on tomorrow, I want you to start taking a picture of everything you eat and logging it and posting it. Period. Period. All right? You have to do this.
Fair enough.
All right? And you have to purge. I don't want any more porn sites. You
No,
just
no,
don't. And when you
I'm
think
done with
about that, think about your fight and go out for a run. Think about doing something positive, okay? The last step is what I call resistance training. Every day, you're going to want to go back to the old guy. So you're going to want to go back to the food and the porn and the blah, 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 and treating life as a joke. So you've got to put in positive affirmations every single day. I need you to write down 6 affirmations about yourself. I now completely control my diet and no longer put bullshit in my mouth. I'm excited for my first fight at heavyweight in 6 weeks' time. I'm excited that Tiffany thinks I'm the most incredible person she's ever seen and she's proud of me. My future kids look at my dad's past life before I was born and they're proud of who I am. I need you to say these things. Every day, every hour, I act as if someone is watching me. Brian Rose, Dan Pena, Jordan Peterson, whatever. You have to say this stuff every day, and then you have to put these practices in place. This is not easy. There's nothing easy about a transformation, but like you have to do it.
I hear you, yeah.
And think about that, think about Tiffany if you have to. Think about this, and also think about you at 65. Honestly, picture in your mind the worst possible scenario of you. Just picture that, and then go to that painful emotion anytime you want to go back to the food or back to the excuses or back to the other stuff, because you're really good at excuses.
I know.
You're really good at consuming media that tells you something about yourself, but the time for action is now.
Yep.
So that's what I need you to do. All right?
Yeah, I totally hear you. And that's actually what I needed. As I say, I would stay in the same habits. I think it was Warren Buffett that said the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. I believe that's correct. And
You're good at quoting people.
I am, unfortunately.
Too good.
But
I'm not impressed.
Okay, but I mean, that was going to be my cycle. And so the fact that I've met you today, it still feels like a bit of a dream.
Okay.
And my life won't ever be the same. I'm never going to forget this. And I'm going to do a 36-hour water fast. I'm going to have a little fight.
Okay, I want this to be a nightmare, not a dream. So water fast starts tonight. I want you to get all this garbage food out of your house. Send me pictures of you cleaning the fridges. I'm serious. I want it gone. And their parents are going to come home and you're like, nope, this is the new me. I'm doing this.
They are
going to You need a daily physical regimen. You need to be running. You need to be speaking with a place, and you can get an amateur fight in 6 weeks. 3 round. You can be white collar. I don't care, but you need to be training for something. You need to tell your friends about it. You need to tell Tiffany about it. All right? Because you can't do this on your own. You have to be held accountable by other people. You got to find someone out there that means something to you and use that as a trigger. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. All right, you got my email. I want details of the water fast. I want to see the purge. I want to see the affirmations every day. And I want the fight booked. All right, I want the time. So that's the way you need to be accountable to me. Show these people that we can do something big.
Understand.
All right?
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Thank you very much, man. I do really appreciate that because I was saying to James out there, some people have been through the dark night of the soul or whatever, and I don't know you personally, but I believe that you have, and I believe that you know what I'm talking about when I say depravity and just like you don't even respect yourself, moral erosion, just like fucking bad.
But you can change all that tomorrow by doing things that make you respect yourself.
Absolutely.
It just takes one day.
Show
yourself that, and every time you want to go back, think about that disgusting, depraved motherfucker that you don't like, and you don't be him, man. Life is too short, man.
I can't be anymore. I mean, after having met you and having this experience, you've rubbed off on me a little bit. Again, not as a quote, but Ty Lopez talks about the 33% rule. But I'm simply not spending enough time around people who are better than me. So having met you today, I can't let myself keep going on. I'm going to have to change. I am going to change.
All right, make it happen.
So
help me hold this man accountable. If you want to come and join me in studio, it's londonreal.tv/real talk. We're going to take a break, play the trailer, and hopefully bring someone else back in. Thank you, buddy. All right?
Cheers, man.
Cool.
At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.